What's up, YouTube? It's Coach Oliver, aka Ambition Oliver, coming at you with another one. And so today I got Thomas Gipson, the one and only Thomas Gipson. All right, I'll let you tell his little backstory because it is amazing. I'm telling you. So this gentleman here has put in some heavy work. I'm talking about mentally, physically. He does whatever is needed for our next generation. And of course, he got to put in work for himself because first mindset is be able to put yourself first. All right, so Thomas, welcome to Build Different Topics. All right, why don't you just tell us a little about yourself? Just get the vibe going.
Yeah. So born in Dallas, Texas. Played high school basketball at Cedar Hill High School. Started all 4 years as a freshman. Sophomore, junior, senior. Started all four. Um, got my scholarship my junior year. My summer. I think that summer going into my senior year. As a matter of fact, I apologize.
Mhm.
Going into my senior year, got a scholarship from Kansas State. Had other different offers. I had California. I had Oklahoma State. Had a couple of Pac-12 schools, a couple of the Big 12 schools, but um, Kansas State was. It felt more right to me. Felt more convenient for me because um, it wasn't too close to home. But yet it was a good enough distance where my people could travel if they wanted to see me because I did want a little bit of freedom.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
of course.
yeah. So Kansas State was perfect. I committed before I even visited the school. Um, for me, it didn't necessarily matter. And honestly, looking back now, it just, something just, I think God told me to pick, Kansas State. So I went ahead and did that. When I went to Kansas State, played and started all 4 years. Uh, me, obviously, like I said, I wanted to be by myself, but with that comes responsibilities,
Hmm.
and just being a young man, learning life, and then being able to, play and start as a freshman all the way up to my senior year. It's definitely a humbling experience. It's definitely, something that I took advantage of, right from the get go, coming out of Kansas. I mean, not Kansas State, but coming out of Cedar Hill. Just because Frank Martin and Matt Figure recruited me, and they said that they want me to play, immediately. Um, After my freshman year, unfortunately, Frank Martin and his staff left, and Bruce Weber and his staff came in. Coach Weber, Coach Lowry, Coach Brooks, Coach Korn, Drew Sparrow, all those guys. They was there for like the next 3 years. Um, well, Brooks left after uh, my sophomore year. He went to Baylor. But long
Oh,
story short, played there, did my thing. Now I'm playing. It's my 8th year overseas. About to go to Israel here in the next couple weeks. So, yeah,
okay,
it's
okay,
pretty cool.
awesome. All right, so I want to break it down based off of your high school, your college, and then your overseas work. Which hopefully one day you'll be able to play on this side. Cause I mean, I was watching your film. Of course, I watch it. Of course, you gotta do a little research about the Gibsons. All y'all are amazing. But of course, you gotta look at Thomas. Thomas is the way to go. So, I looked at it, saw multiple. I was looking at that 34 point game. Was it nine? Was it steals or blocks and two assists?
Yeah,
And
34 points,
Mexico.
9 2 assists.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was just looking at that too the other day.
Oh, in a
Uh,
closeout.
huh?
I said in a closeout game, in a winner go home, and a winner go
Yes.
home. Unfortunately, we lost, but yeah,
Gotcha.
I showed.
Hey, you showed up and showed out. So, you did what you had to do. All right.
Right.
So, from the high school perspective, what did you do to get Kansas State and everybody else looking at you? What did you do? What was your mindset like? What did you do physically? What did you do mentally?
Well, I think I'm gonna be honest. I think physically, I was blessed by God, and I was blessed by my mother and my father to to have a good physical body. I was more, I think I was more developed. My shoulders were a lot more broader than a lot of kids, in high school. I was already about 6'5", so and I could jump, I could run. So I want kids to take all this stuff into account, but understand that, everybody's different, but it all comes down to your mindset. So I say that because, like, yeah, I had the physical attributes, but if I didn't like plant this seed in my mind after my freshman year, I probably would have not gotten the scholarships. And I mean, it's pretty simple. The only thing I really did was just tell myself, like, you know, I'm gonna be a dominant force, and every time I get the ball, I'm gonna dunk it. That's all I
Yeah.
said to my. I said it repeatedly like a maniac. Um, it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. I remember I remember nights by myself, and I'm constantly repeating it, watching basketball, repeating it. And so, it's like you plant the mustard seed, lo and behold, and it grows. And that sophomore year, not even that sophomore year, that freshman summer, that that AAU summer leading up into my sophomore year, that's when it kind of happened, man. It was just like a quantum leap. But like I said, I know that it can happen to everybody because, like I said, I had to plant that in my mind.
Mm.
It's a mental thing. It's mental war. Like, you got to constantly tell yourself positive things, rather than negative. You know, um, I would say, influence around you plays a big key in that. Um, Having a good, right friends, right coaching,
Mm.
a lot of things played into my life. Looking back at it, a lot of things happened that turned out, the way I am. But what I say for the kids is that, like I said, you just got to plant that seed in your mind, and at the end of the day, you know, it's all up to you. It's all up to you. The coach is only going to help you so much because you got
Yeah.
to understand the coach has a life too. And
Yeah.
the reality of it is not many coaches and people are as invested into your personal dreams or goals. So you got to make sure that you take care of what you have to do, and then it'll get to a certain point to where you know people will believe in you, and that's when they'll start helping you, and then that's when they'll start seeing your dream, and then that's when things start rolling, and that's when the scholarships start happening, and things just take time. It's not just an instant gratification thing where, like, you think you're gonna plant this seed the first day, and then by the end of the week you're gonna be you know this ultimate killer. Like, things take time. You have to build on it, you have to work on it, and you have to be
Mm.
positive. You have to be positive, like, no matter what, because, like I said, it's only going to be you. It's only going to be you.
Got you. Got you. So you definitely got to face adversity because, I mean, of course, life is not going to be a straight path, you know?
No,
And so, all right, cool, cool.
as a high school kid, like, people don't take that into account. Like, yes, these kids are kids, but it's like, life happens to them as well.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
gotta. I mean, yeah, like, I don't want to put nobody's business out there, but it's just like, that you talk to these kids. Once you establish a relationship with these kids, you know they have it tough too. So, um, you got to be able to find that home that's not a home.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, in my home was a gym. I I could lock in for an hour, 2 hours of pure basketball, and
Hmm.
then, like, I don't want to be weird, but it's kind of like a trance, like
Yeah.
the focus that it
And you work on your
takes.
craft. That's your craft right there. And that makes you better because that's all you want to do. If that's all you really want to do, then you're going to be dedicated to what you want to do, you know? So,
Facts.
and yeah, and that's how you get happy. All right, so transpiring. So moving forward towards college, right? So you got looked at. You had your family that had your back. You wanted to be close, but you didn't want to be too close. Because which right now you're overseas, so I don't know how close you. You way out there now,
Oh,
but
I want to be out now. But
I,
not not because of my family, not because of my family or anything, but it's
Yeah.
just I like being overseas. But go ahead, my fault.
No, no, you good, you good. Cause I mean, I've only been to Oklahoma and I'm in Texas, so I'm definitely making some trips. Of course, in the beginning of next year. But so you transitioned to college. How was it like in college? How was it like being? Was you that guy, or did you have to earn to be that guy? Like how was the process with college?
Nah, so with college, you gotta start all over, basically. Nobody cares that you averaged 18 and 12. Nobody cares that you were state runner up. Like nobody cares about any of that. You got a clean slate and you gotta produce.
Yeah.
And so, um, I don't know. I just made it a point. I think, that mustard seed kind of grew in college my freshman year, but this is where you got to have a good foundation as far as like spiritual foundation and not being distracted,
Hmm.
because although yes, like I was the man, I had to work for it. Like I felt like I did. I earned every minute. I earned every accolade. I've earned every gratification from a fan. I've earned everything that I've gotten. Nothing was handed to me at all. A lot of
Yeah.
people feel like it was handed to me. No, I worked for every minute, every playing time, So, um, with that being said, with all that, you gotta stay locked in.
Mm.
Obviously, I was a kid, and I was having fun here and there, but I think along the way, I lost sight of my mission and my purpose. Um, but like I said, that being said, I'm still a young kid, and I'm still hooping, and I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do. But I know for a fact it could have been better.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to the kids now because you gotta, yes, it's another 4 years, but you gotta lock in the whole way, especially if you want to go to the NBA, especially if
Mm.
you want to, make great money playing this game. Um, you gotta lock in the whole time. Um, but for me, coming in as a freshman, I wanted to establish myself early, and I did that. Um, Frank loved me. He called me the boogeyman.
Mm.
Um, the assistant coaches loved me. They respected me. They knew that I played hard, and I didn't care like who was in front of me. You
Yeah.
know,
You
I
gotta earn
still,
that.
huh?
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
earn that.
yeah. Like no, like for real. I still have like iffy relationships from my college teammates because like I was so tough. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I didn't care about feelings. I know that, I wanted to play and I demanded my spot, and that was it. And I worked for it. And so, but again, that all comes with the mental attitude. That's all. That's all. You know, talking to yourself, asking yourself if you want it. How
yeah,
bad do you? I didn't. I never did. I never played basketball for clout. I never played for the accolades. I never played for anything like that. For me, it was an escape. It was a coping mechanism, like an escape mechanism. Like I could
yeah,
always just go to the court and just let my frustrations out.
yeah,
Let my frustrations out on the rim. If you're in front of me, possibly let my no, not possibly, definitely let my frustrations out on you. I was a hothead. You
yeah.
can ask. I probably got a tech a game. A tech a game. Nah,
But
no
that's
exaggeration.
because you cared though. That's because
It,
you.
yeah, it didn't come from. It wasn't anger. I mean, yeah, it was anger, but it wasn't like I'm just throwing bows out here. Nah, I play with a sense of passion. I
Yeah,
play with a drive like that people like don't really understand, and even if people don't understand now, grown men don't understand now, you know. But that's just the level of psyche that you just have to separate yourself from.
mm,
Like you got to just do that. But that takes a lot of mental work, and that takes honestly a little craziness. I
yeah,
mean, being a professional basketball player is a little crazy, you know?
yeah.
Like, think about
Cause
Travis. Think about Travis. He got to
who?
go again. every Sunday he got to go against everybody that's no less than 200, 230 pounds. It's a little crazy
Yeah.
to think. But what's the drive behind that though? He loves it.
Yeah.
He, you got to really love it. Like if you don't love it, then you're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Then you
Correct.
that mustard seed. You're not gonna demand that real estate in that club organization. You're not gonna demand, the ball when it's time to get the ball. You're not gonna make that stop when it's time to make the stop. You know why? Because you don't love it. Your heart not in it.
Hmm.
Therefore, you just passing along. You just another percentage at this point. You
Yeah.
know. I think
Yep.
at the end of the day, it's all about trying to be a one percenter. Not in a negative way, but like you want to mentally put yourself above others in your craft, whatever it may
Yeah.
be. It don't have to be basketball, it could be gaming, it could
Yeah.
be anything. But
Yeah.
it all takes, you know, that mental push, that mental factor. Are you willing to do it? And then are you willing to put the work in too? Because you can tell yourself I can do this, I can do that, but then if you don't put the work behind it, it's not going to translate. And I think that it honestly like took me now to finally realize that,
Hmm.
I'm 29 in my prime, and I probably clocked in a lot of hours this past year, maybe 2 years, than I probably have in my whole career. That's real.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say, like, a part of this, I was blessed because of my body, my athleticism and stuff too. But a lot of it is a mental battle too. So you got to tackle it early.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
So with that, you say that mindset, doing whatever it takes. It seemed like you lost a little weight. You're more like a little faster. Cause like I said, I've been looking at your stuff or whatever. So what did you do to re-engage yourself to say I need to get better? I need to lose a little bit more weight. I need to be able to get faster. I need to work on my arc or my technique. What did you do recently to be able to proceed to that next level of yourself?
I self-evaluated, and that's one of the hardest things to do. It's still tough to kind of like watch some of my old games, but I do it. So I self-evaluated, and I said, and I watch a lot of film, not even just mine, NBA, EuroLeague, like all this, right? I flood my mind with it, plays, everything. And I seen where the style of game was going, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and during that transition, I'm like 275. I know I can still move. I know I can move with these guards, but it's not translating on the court. I'm still 275, And so watching all these films and dissecting the game and everything, I had to mentally again tell myself, all right, if you want to be in this career, if you want to be in this game for the long run, you gotta lose it. You gotta lose it. Um, and that's what I did. Yet again, I planted another seed in my mind, and my transition kind of started uh, when I was in Argentina. I don't know what year that was. Um, 2019, maybe 2019, 2018, maybe
Mm-hmm.
17. The latest, the earliest, but um, nah, like I didn't eat meat. I didn't eat meat for a while. I was on like a rice and bean diet. I dropped everything. I was sweating. I was drinking a lot of water, a lot of fruits, vegetables, getting back to earth, as close to earth as possible. Eating anything that's rooted, basically. And
Mm-hmm.
then as far as like my proteins, um, protein shakes. I love rice and beans. I was in Mexico and in Argentina. They serve rice and beans a lot, so I love that. I love my pasta, so I just loaded up on that, and I eventually dropped it, man. And it took a lot of looking in the mirror. Took a lot of looking in the mirror, looking at myself, looking at the reality, looking at my body, knowing that I was disgusted with myself. I didn't like what I see. Um, and I wanted to change it. And I wanted to change it. I wanted to be healthier. I wanted to be around for my family. It's a lot of
Yeah.
things, man. I could
Yeah.
go on and on, but like what it all comes down to is what do you plant in your mind, right? Like that's
Yeah.
all it comes down to. Like
Exactly.
if you don't plant that seed in your mind and then put the work behind it, faith without works is dead. If you don't have faith that you can lose weight and then you don't put in the work to lose weight, then you're not going to lose weight. If you don't have faith to get that scholarship and then you don't put in that work, you're not going to. So you gotta plant these things in your mind. You gotta do the actions. You know, that's all it takes. Anybody can lose weight. Anybody can get in shape, man. But it's tough, man. Don't nobody want to change though. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
or adapt. Let's say adapt.
Yeah.
Adapt.
That's a big thing. Adapting. So, what is it like playing overseas? Being able to compete and have fun, and just being able to be yourself.
It's like a breath of fresh air. Coming from college, I was in a box. I kind of felt like I was in a box. Obviously, coaches have their systems respectfully, and I get that. But at the same time, too, you know, there was some things I feel like I could do on the outside in the mid-range game, but I didn't have that confidence in myself to do it. One, and two, I was a guaranteed bucket in the paint. So I didn't it kind of didn't make sense at the time to for me and the coaches, I guess, it didn't make sense to try to take those middies when we did have other shooters and everything around. It's just the whole system and mental aspect that came into play, that put me in a box in college. But going into my professional career, again, you basically
Yeah.
starting over,
Again.
slave. Um, you have to be able to, you have to be able to play freely, but kind of within little limits, because you don't want to be the selfish American. You don't want to be
Yeah.
labeled that.
Yeah.
So,
Got
so
you.
they're dependent on you. Obviously, if they're bringing you to the country to hoop, they're dependent on you. But at the same time, you don't have to be LeBron James. You know, like it's
Yeah.
like he's so ball dominant. And getting out of that box, I think, and also losing weight allowed me to I move free. I move good. My midi is good. My 3 pointer is good. I can run. I can jump. Um, I've gotten in a lot better shape. So just being out that box and then ultimately, knocking a lot of people off the pedestal and understanding that, you are a good player. Because again, it all gonna rely up to you. It's all on you now. It's all on you. You're a grown man now, right? Like you're by yourself. No, very rarely are people gonna tape your ankles over there. Like you got to make sure you get treatment. You got to make sure you stretch. You got to make sure you eat right. Nobody's gonna, you know, cook for you or anything over there. You're gonna be by yourself. Like so you have to take on a lot more responsibilities. You got to wash your own clothes, probably. Maybe the first year. So all these things, you have to do, and it just overall develops you into, a man. It
Yeah.
does. You have to take care of yourself, um, and it's good, and I think playing in another country, you know, um, learning different languages, eating different cuisines, you
Hmm.
know, experiencing different cultures, bringing that back to the States. It gives you a different mindset. Makes you more open minded. You see a lot more things differently. Um, but but again, it's a blessing though, because you know that you're experiencing something that a lot of people aren't. So when you come back, you have to ultimately give that back somehow. You have to give thanks
Yeah.
somehow. That's why I
Yeah.
coach, teach, and I train kids, and I be around. I be around the kids as much as possible, to give back a lot of information in the game, um, that they need down here. But
Mm.
I mean, overall, it is a blessing. I get to be with my family. Like I said, we're about to go to Israel, about to be on the beach. We've been to Finland, France, Turkey, Argentina, Ukraine. Um,
Been everywhere. Been
yeah,
moving.
yeah, places. So it's a great experience, and I'm blessed, honestly, that I get to do it with my boys and my wife. So it's good.
Yes, yes. So what are your future goals?
Future goals, man. I want to haven't told nobody this except my wife, but I want to have my own gym here in Dallas, like kind of like a recreational center type deal. They got
Hmm.
a weight, they got the gyms, you got like 6 courts, 4, 6 courts, anything. They got a recovery spot, and I wanted to make it a place, a safe haven for kids, homeschool kids, public school, anything. It don't matter, but a place where people can come and they can get work in and they can be able to like do things. I want to be able to give people jobs. With that,
Yes,
I want to be able to help the community as much as possible. As far as like feeding the homeless, doing things, setting up multiple, you know, a couple different nonprofits to give back. Because like I said, that's what it's really all about. And I think that's how, I lost my purpose, throughout college and a little bit of my professional career is because, me being selfish, just like I'm only thinking about myself and not really giving back the game to other people, and other kids. And so, my goal is to ultimately just give back. Like I want to have my own gym. I want to create jobs for other people. Um, and I want to help. I just want to help people as much as possible. Doesn't even have to be
yeah,
about it's not even about basketball. I just think basketball is, a tool um, to build you up for life. You know, like there's no shortcuts in life. Like, and you really find that out. Sometimes I was the one that that didn't touch the line on the baseline all the way. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that
yeah,
kids understand what I'm saying. Sprints, I didn't touch the line sometimes. You know, expecting a shortcut, and
yeah,
and life hit me. Life hits me. You know what I'm saying? It hits everybody. So um, this overseas professional life isn't perfect. It isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's real grit. You have to be mentally tough, and if you not, you will fold. You will fold because that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah.
gotta have some. So I use basketball to teach these kids about life because they
Build
don't understand.
character.
Yeah, they don't understand that life that
Well, I just want to go back real quick and tell you that you are not being selfish. I'm gonna let you know right now. Sometimes you have to put yourself first because if you don't put yourself first, then you wouldn't end up the person you are today. Because in reality, you wouldn't probably have your wife, you wouldn't have your sons, or it'll be a whole different timeline. You the one that created yourself to be the structure and strong man, or that you are today. So without you being yourself, even sometimes you gotta be selfish because you can't get ran over. You can't consistently, give in. So
right,
building that strength within yourself builds that character to say, hey, this is who I am and this is how I hold my ground. So just overall, I'm just gonna let you know that was not a mistake for you to be selfish in whatever it is. Like sometimes you have to have that mental health to say that I gotta put myself first, and being able to put yourself first is how you literally become that next level of yourself. So it's
right.
not always, a bad thing to put yourself first.
That's a fact. I appreciate that, Coach. Because, like I said, man, it's been a journey. It's been a journey for everybody listening. Like it's not, like I said, it's not easy. So yeah, it's definitely refreshing to hear that. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. You got anything else?
Nah, I say overall, just stay positive. Seek God, seek Jesus in your life. Keep going. Um, and like I said, know that everything happens for a reason, and that you just got to stay positive in the end. That's it. That's it. I appreciate the platform that that you're sharing with me. That you put me on your space. I appreciate the
Oh
time.
man, it's an honor to have you on here. I don't know what you talking about.
Nah, nah, nah. I mean, genuinely, I just, it's good. Sometimes I get off on a little rant, you know, but it's good for people to hear it because the truth hurts, and I've had to hear the truth so many times, and I've had to deal with that so many times. So it's you gotta like tell other people the truth, and it'll help. So stay positive through it all.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you so much to stay on. Let me go ahead and turn this bad boy off. If you're watching this, I appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment. What is your Twitter? What's your Twitter, Thomas?
Oh, I don't have Twitter no more. I
You
deleted
don't
it,
have Twitter?
man.
Oh, got rid of Twitter.
Nah, I
Got,
deleted
got,
it. Um,
got you,
I
got
got.
you.
So I don't know if you have Instagram though.
Instagram. What's the Instagram?
32_Gipson.
All right, 32_Gipson. All right. Once again, it's an honor to have you. I mean, like literally, you are freaking amazing to me. In the gym, watch you put in your work, watch you do your craft. It's always amazing. So just stay here for a second. I'm gonna end this bad boy and just talk to you for a couple of minutes. All right. So y'all were watching, build different topics. Appreciate y'all watching. Ambition, and of course, Thomas Gipson is out.